Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. The movement of the ocean currents. Today we are going to study, and this is the most important. We can say that topic or on the regarding the exam point of view and the knowledge point of view also. So let's get started. The movement of the ocean currents. Ocean currents are large masses of surface water that circulate in regular pattern around the oceans, as shown in the world map, figure 19.5. And we will look at the map after this uh, content. So started those that flow from equatorial regions. You know that the equatorial regions polewards have a higher surface temperature poleward and are warm currents. The countries which surrounded the poleward have higher uh, surface temperature currents, or we can say the balm current. Those that flow from polar regions, equatorward, equatorward, have a lower surface temperature and the cold currents, and the current which flow on the equator surroundings, and that is the cold currents, lower surface temperature, and their direction of movement is indicated by the arrows. But why should they follow such a pattern? This is the question. Some of the underlying factors are explained below. The planetary winds. Planetary winds. What is planetary winds? Between the equator and the tropics. Equator and the tropics. This. This is the 0 degree. This is the 66 and 23. 66 and a half degree and 20. This is the 23 and a half degree, and this is the 66 and a half degree. This is the 90. Okay. So between the equator, the tropics below the trade winds. Between the equator, the tropics below the trade winds, which move. We will talk about this map. Okay, and as we can said, 0 degree, 23 and a half degree, and 66 and a half degree, and above this poleward or 90 degree. Okay, and this is the equator, 0 degree, and this is the equator. Okay, and this is the tropic of Capricorn, and this is the tropic of Cancer. Okay, this is the North Atlantic Ocean, this is the South Atlantic Ocean. Okay, and this is our India. Okay, so North Pacific Ocean, west wind drift, and this is the red line with arrow is called the warm currents, dotted arrow cold currents, and the line arrow is warm currents. Okay, and this is the continental shelf, and you know the continental shelf, I have been studying earlier. So equatorial water polewards and westward and warm the eastern coast of continent. For example, the northeast trade winds, northeast, yeah, northeast trade winds move the north equatorial currents. This is north equatorial and its derivative, the Florida currents and the Gulf Stream drift to bomb the southern and eastern coast of USA. Similarly, the southeast trade winds drive the south equatorial currents, which bomb eastern coast of Brazil as a bomb of Brazilian currents. In the temperate latitude, blow the westerlies, though they are less reliable than the trade winds. They result in north easterly flow of water in the northern hemisphere. Sorry, so that the warm Gulf Stream is driven to the western coast of Europe as the North Atlantic drift. In a similar manner, the westerlies of southern hemisphere in the sense, this is the north hemisphere, half Earth, or this is the below, this is the southern hemisphere. You can you know that the north, east, or west or south, and this is the and this southern part is called the southern hemisphere. drive the west wind drift equatoward as the Peruvian currents of South America and the Benguela current of Southern Africa. The planetary wind are probably the dominant influence on the flow of ocean currents. Planetary wind are probably the dominant influence on the flow of ocean current, and the strongest evidence of the prevailing winds on current flow is seen in the North Indian Ocean. Here the direction of the current changes completely with the direction of the monsoon winds, which comes from the northeast in winter and southwest in summer. Monsoon comes in India in summer from the southwest in the sense this. This is the north, this is the east, and this is the south. This is the north, sorry, and this is the east west, and this is the south. Okay, so this is the south, and monsoon comes in summer in इंडिया फ्रॉम साउथ वेस्ट यानी कि इस तरफ से, ठीक है, और विंटर में नॉर्थ ईस्ट यानी कि इस तरफ से ऐसे, ठीक है, और इसमें कहाँ से आता है ऐसे, ठीक। तो टेम्परेचर, ओ सॉरी लाइट्स हैव बीन गॉन, सो So the temperatures, there is a much difference in the temperature of ocean waters at the equator and at the poles, as warm water is lighter and rises, and cold is denser and sinks. Warm equatorial waters move slowly along the surface poleward, while the heavier cold water of the polar regions creep slowly along the bottom of the sea equatorwards. Let's talk about the salinity. The salinity of the ocean water varies from place to place. Waters of the high salinity are denser than water of the low salinity. Hence, water of the low salinity flow on the surface of the water of high salinity, while water of the high salinity flow at the bottom towards the water of the low salinity. For example, in the Mediterranean region, there is a great difference in salinity between the waters of the open Atlantic and those of the partially enclosed Mediterranean Sea. The less saline water of the Atlantic flows on the surface into the Mediterranean, and this compensates for an outflow of denser bottom from the Mediterranean. Let's talk about the Earth's rotation. The Earth's rotation deflects freely moving objects, including ocean currents to the right. In the northern hemisphere, this is a clockwise direction. That, for example, circulation of the Gulf Stream drift and Canaries current. In the southern hemisphere is an anti-clockwise direction, that is Brazilian current and the west bend drift. And land, a land mass always obstruct and divert a current. For instance, the tip of the southern Chile diverts part of the west wind drift to northwards as the Peruvian current. Similarly, the shoulders of the Brazil at Cape Sao Roque divides the west flowing equatorial currents into the Canadian current, which flow northwestward, and Brazilian currents which flow southwestward. Or let's little bit, and this is the North America, this is the South America, and this is the North Pacific drift, and this is the current, and this is the most important current is this South Atlantic, the Brazilian current. This is the Gulf Stream, Canadian current. Okay, Arctic Circle, and this is the North Atlantic drift. Northeastern monsoon drift winter. This is the direction. Mozambique of Agulhas currents. ठीक है, and this is passed through the Madagascar and the South Africa. Okay, this and the movement of this. Okay, this is the Falkland current, and this pass through the and this is the cold current, and this pass through the Chile and Brazilian current mix, South Atlantic Ocean. Okay, and this is done for the today. We will talk about the most important circulation of the Atlantic Ocean currents. ठीक है, circulation. So this is done for the today. Keep watching my videos for more information regarding the world geography. Thank you so much.